You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast, where you'll learn step-by-step how to meet and seduce beautiful women, whether you're looking for one night of fun, a week-long fling, or a long-term relationship. I'm your host, Trip, and the episode starts now. Hello and welcome to another episode of the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. On today's episode, yes, I am coming to you with probably more information, and I'm sure you're overloaded on information in terms of what's going on right now in the world. Everything with the coronavirus and self-quarantining and sheltering at home and all the craziness that's going on. And so what I want to do for you on this episode is just come in here with my expertise to help you in terms of how you can take this moment in your life and still try to take advantage of it with dating and meeting women. Now, I just want to be very clear here. This episode is not going to be about going out and meeting women during this time. This is more about this concept called virtual dates. So I do believe that right now, in terms of how dating is going to be going for the next few weeks, maybe potential few months, is going to be virtual dates. So what this means is you don't have to stop dating. It's just you're not going to be meeting women in person. So the next best thing that you could do is continue dating. You're going to be doing it online. And I'm going to be teaching you in this episode exactly what to do, how to make the best profile, how to message women, and also how to set up virtual dates, meaning phone dates, FaceTime dates, or WhatsApp dates, and Skype, right? Video chatting. So you're going to be learning all about this on this episode. What I've done is I've extracted the audio from a live that I did a few nights ago from the release of this video. So you can watch it if you want on YouTube, but if you just want the audio, here it is. Basically, this is about 50 minutes of hard-hitting, very practical advice of exactly what to do to make the very best profile that you can, so you can get a lot of women interested when you're swiping, when you're messaging them, and then setting up a ton of virtual dates to then get to the point where when the quarantine is over and it's safe to go out and meet other people, you're going to have hopefully a lot of real life dates already lined up. So you don't have to sit at home lonely and you can continue dating. I mean, we live in a time right now where we're all still connected digitally. And so it's very possible for you to meet women. It's just not going to be, like I said, in person. I'm going to give you the entire breakdown on this episode. So this is definitely one of those note-taking episodes. I highly recommend that you get out your pen and paper, which I know you probably actually don't have, but at least your iPads, your phones, whatever you do to take notes, because again, I'll be giving you literal step-by-step directions on what to say, what to do here on this episode. I just want to let you know that coaching is still available for those of you who are interested. The thing is at the making of this podcast, I am already about 3 to 4 weeks out, which means that if we sign you up today for coaching, you and I actually would not start until 3 or 4 weeks. So we'd put you in this schedule. Okay. So now is still a good time to do coaching. We can help you with online, and we can help you with getting yourself out there and meeting more women, because if in 3 or 4 weeks we're going back out there and meeting people, then perfect. You're already ready to go. And worst case scenario, if in 3 to 4 weeks that's not the case, well, don't worry. We'll push your sessions back and you won't lose them. So at least we'll get you in the schedule and signed up. So coaching is for people who want to learn how to meet women, whether it's online or in person, have an active dating life, get to the point where they know exactly what to say to a woman when they're on a date, and basically get to the point where they're not nervous around women so they can have a dating life where they're either having casual relationships or relationships that lead to monogamy or even marriage. So if you're a person who wants to learn how to do that and you feel like you're stuck, just go to coachedbytrip.com. If you go to coachedbytrip.com, it's going to take you to a application form. As long as you're over 18, then boom, you're in and you're pre-qualified. So go there today to sign up for coaching so we can help you get to the point where your dating life is something that you can be proud of and something that's fun and not such a drain and not so stressful for you. Okay. So for now, go to coachedbytrip.com and we'll get this handled. Okay. Now, here is the live that I did. Here's the audio that's extracted from it, teaching you how to be able to meet more women during this quarantine time and make it useful for you. Check it out. All right. What's going on? Looks like we are live. Are we? Yes, we are. Trip Kramer here from tripadvice.com. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, welcome. Today, I'm very excited. Why am I excited? I'm excited because I have an entire step-by-step formula that you need and can follow if you are finding yourself right now quarantined. Maybe it's mandatory, maybe you're shelter in place, maybe you're self-quarantining. We all know the reason why. I hope that in the future, this video is not something that people have to come and check out, because hopefully this is not the case. But this is the case now. And I understand that a lot of people are having a very hard time with it emotionally, financially. It's causing a lot of loneliness. It's causing people to really be a little freaked out in terms of what's going on. So all I have to say is this: life in many times is going to be chaotic, and we don't have control over everything, obviously. So what can we do? The best we could do is just try to, in these times of chaos, keep calm, take the best action steps, and try not to worry too much about anything that's not happening in the immediate future. I'm not the only person to say that. A lot of other people have been saying this. I think we all know. You know, what I'm saying is obvious, but it's simple. That's all we could do. Yes, so deep. But here's the thing. A lot of people, they are feeling lonely and they still want to meet someone. And so I have some good news for you, is that the dating doesn't have to stop. You don't have to stop dating right now, and you don't have to stop actually connecting with people. The thing that's going to be different here, and what I'm going to be going over today, is how you're going to do this virtually. Okay. So what we're talking about is meeting women on apps and dating sites, primarily dating sites, I think is really good. And I'm going to be giving you a whole step-by-step system in terms of what you can do to do as best as you can and optimize your entire online dating experience so that you connect with more women. And then I'm going to be teaching you about virtual dates. Okay. So what this means is that right now, since you cannot go out and meet people, since you are quarantined, your best bet is going to be to meet women online and spend, if you have the time, which I feel like you might, swiping, messaging, and setting up from there these dates that are going to be all virtual. FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp are the best ways to do this. And like I said, what I'll be doing today is I'm going to be giving you some of my best tips in terms of what you can do to optimize your profile, optimize your messages, and put this whole thing on full blast. Because right now, that's all you could do. All you could do is be on full blast with online dating. And the cool thing is that you can end up setting up these virtual dates with these women. And then what happens from there is, once you are not quarantined and you were released back into the wild, you can start going on real dates. So a lot of the information I'm going to be giving you today, I'd say about 80% of it you're going to be using forever. And the next 20% is very specific to the fact that you were quarantined. Okay, which means that you're going to be doing things just a little bit differently that I wouldn't suggest in real life. And we're going to be going over that as when it comes about. So I just want to give a quick hello to everyone who is here. So Um, cool, cool. What's up, everybody? Yes. So if we're ready, type ready in the chat. Type ready in the chat. We're going to go over this. We're going to get right into it. And then afterwards, if there's time, we will take calls and and uh, and answer any questions. Sound good? You guys excited? I'm excited. This is going to be great. Okay. Let's do it. So here's the deal. Again, I'm going to give you a little bit of a silver lining here. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do is really help you understand that right now, as you're going to be going through this step-by-step process, it's going to force you to get better at conversation because you are going to be talking to a lot of women and you're going to be doing it, like I said, either over the phone or FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp. And really, that's the silver lining here. Shout out to Susan Winter. I watched her video recently, and she kind of talked about that this is a time when you're going to have to be really good at conversation. I heard that and I was like, she is so right. And that's what I was thinking about, kind of what we'll be talking about today, is that we're going to be really preparing you to get really good at conversation. So even if you don't end up getting a lot of, let's say, virtual dates out of this, you're still going to be at least honing in on the skill. So what I'm going to be proposing to you today is a win-win situation. You really can't fail. And I really suggest that you do this. A lot of people might be like, well, this is not going to be the time. I don't want to be, doing any dating right now because whatever, like I'm just forget it. Like this is kind of forcing me not to. But I'm telling you, I mean, this is a great opportunity to be meeting women out and about. Sorry, out and about. I say that so much. We're in quarantine. This is a great opportunity to meet women online because they're all there right now. No one's out and about. Everyone's inside. So there is a lot of women. And in a weird way, it's like I always complained about online dating in the past because I felt like it was oversaturated. But now it's almost like it's going to be so slammed. And that's going to be a good thing, right? Because there's going to be so many options. I feel like that there's going to be an enormous amount of potential. So, okay, let's get to it. You're right, Chuck D. Let's get to the point. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of my best online dating tips. Okay, so that's what we're going to do first. That's part one. And then after that, we're going to go into messaging. And then after that, we're going to go into how to set up these dates, virtual dates. And then I'm going to give you some phone tips. So I got a lot of information. All right, let's go. Okay, so let's start with your profile. Okay, this is going to be your profile that's pretty much for apps and for sites. What I'm about to tell you right now is a little bit more geared towards the sites, the Match.com, eHarmony, OkCupid, JDate, Plenty of Fish, things like that. So that's going to be a little bit more for sites. And then when we talk about the profile, you're going to have to tweak it a little bit because I know that for a dating profile on apps and sites, they're much different. So let's start with pictures first, okay? So pictures. By the way, everything I'm about to say right now is stuff that has been tested, okay? Not necessarily by me. I haven't done online dating for a while, but this is stuff that has been tested through stats that big online dating sites have found. So what I'm about to tell you is not an opinion, okay? It's not an opinion. It's actually stuff that has been proven to work. So this is not just kind of a bunch of, well, I think this is good. I'll give you the reasonings why I think some of this stuff works, but this is proven stuff. So looks like people are saying that they're experiencing a little bit of a delay. Well, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so pictures. What you want is 4 or more pictures. Okay, so if you have 4 or more pictures, studies have shown that you're more likely to get a match or get a woman interested in you. The reason why you want 4 or more pictures is because the pictures are telling a story. Okay, the pictures are telling a story. So basically, you want the full story of who you are. And think about it this way. A lot of this is going to be like, oh yeah, that's what I would want if I saw a dating profile from a woman, right? Like you don't want one picture, you want multiple pictures because you want to see what they look like. So you want four or more pictures. I read that there was a big jump between 3 and 4 pictures, meaning that jump from having 3 to 4 or more, or even that small one, just from 3 to 4, actually got you more matches. So 4 or more pictures is what you want to do. Now, what pictures do you want to have? You want to have these four. We'll dive into them. Okay. Okay. So one, you want to have doing something that you love, and I'm gonna give you a thought on that in a bit. So doing something you love. Another one is a full body shot. 3 is something with family and friends, and 4 is if you have a pet, uh, then have a picture of you and your pet. If you don't have a pet, then just repeat one of the other ones I said, so you can have 4 or more. Right? Again, another one of you doing something that you love, another full body shot, or another one of you and of your family and friends. I would say probably for this is now my opinion. I would only have one that's of family and friends because you don't when you're looking at someone's pictures, you don't really want to see a ton of pictures of them with other people because you're just trying to dissect who's who and what's what. So maybe just one of those, a couple of full body shots, or a couple of things doing something you love. So as long as you have 4 or more. So why do these work so well? Well, here's my theory. Doing something you love, this is what's going to be telling the story, right? This is part of the story of who you are and what you're all about. So you're going to be doing something you love. It says that you're active. It says that you have hobbies, that you have passions. There's something more to you than just you're more than a body. Okay, there's something going on in your life. So doing something that you love. Full body shot. Obviously, full body shots do really well because, well, the person can see exactly what you look like and you're not hiding anything. And it doesn't mean you have to be, shirt off, ripped. I actually heard I'm not going to say it because I don't remember it fully and I don't want to give you any false information. All I know is as long as you have a full body shot, it's going to help. It's going to help a lot. Just looking at the chat. Okay, let's keep going. One with family and friends. So why does that work? Well, you have people, it shows that you have people in your life that you care about, right? You have people in your life. You have a social circle around you. It's very attractive when someone has friends. It's kind of weird like they don't. And so it shows that you do, right? There's proof right there. Like you have a good time, you have a social life, you have family and friends that you care about. Show it off. Show a picture. And then one, if you have pets, it's probably self-explanatory. If you have one of you and a pet, it's cute. Women find it cute. They find it adorable. They like it. And I can only assume that's probably why they find it more attractive. So again, I'm going to recap here. 4 or more pictures, and they should be doing something that you love, a full body shot, one of you of your family or one of you with your friends, and then one if you have a pet, a picture of you and your dog or your cat or whatever. Here's the thing. Don't just do that because it works. Obviously, if you have a picture of your pet and then you match with someone and you do a virtual date or a real date with the girl and she asks you about your pet and you say, "Oh, no, that's my friend's," it's going to be clear that you are doing something try hard to get a match, right? Like women are going to see right through that. So there you go. More information. Studies have shown that people get more matches when the pictures are taken with a camera that has an interchangeable lens, aka a DSLR. Okay? A DSLR. So why? Because those cameras, actually the one that I'm using right here, take better pictures. Take better pictures. So you want to make sure that as many as you can are taken with the DSLR. Obviously, it's not going to be always the case. You might not have a picture of you and your friends taken with the DSLR. But if you can help it, and I know now is not the time when you can probably do this because we're quarantined here. But But at the very least, if you have any pictures that are crisp, that are clear, that are nicely shot, it's going to show that you're taking it seriously, A, and B, it's visual, right? She's going to be able to get a clear look of who you are. And you have a better chance, even if you're like this guy who's like, no, well, I'm ugly. If you think you're ugly, which by the way, it's completely subjective. Even guys who think that they're ugly, there are still women who find them attractive. But if you think that you're ugly, it's not going to help having a blurry, shitty picture of you. It's always going to be still better to have, because you're still not going to match. So you might as well default at having the best pictures possible. Okay. Yeah, someone said portrait mode. Yes, so the iPhones have portrait mode. I don't know what the Androids have or any other phones, but I know iPhone does have portrait mode, and it looks like a DSLR. So, and I remember reading that study about DSLRs that came out before iPhone had that. So yeah, I think that would constitute, because it looks pretty good. Okay. What else we got here? No flashes in the picture. Make sure that the lighting is natural. It just looks better. It's more appeasing to the eye. No selfies. No selfies. This is all studies right now. This is not my opinion. I'm not giving you an opinion. This is all studies from actual dating sites that have shown who has gotten more matches. Selfies for guys specifically. When a guy takes a selfie, it doesn't look as good. One, it's really hard to get a good angle. It's just hard to make yourself look good with a selfie. That's my opinion there of why. And also, it shows no effort. There's no effort. Like, you're just like clicking like, like you don't care. The effort shown into creating a dating profile, it is going to be more attractive when you have that effort there. She's not going to be thinking that on a conscious level, but she's going to be getting that vibe and feeling that when she sees your profile with all these pictures and they look good, and you have a full bio and it's being taken seriously. Okay. It's not like cool to like not do your profile good. If anything, the girl's gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy? And then swipe out or not respond to your message. Okay. Adam said no sunglasses. I would agree with that. I don't have that here today on the tips, but that's kind of intuitive, right? Common sense. No sunglasses. Why? Because you can't see your face. Does editing photos help? Yes, but just don't overdo it. If you want to make it, edit it to be natural. That's actually one of the ways that I try to do, for the most part. Like some of my Instagram photos, some I do a little bit fun and look cool with some colors. But for this, try to just edit it to be natural. So try to make it look more like, don't try to get crazy on the colors. Make it still look normal. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Oh, look, I actually did have here on my notes, nothing covering your face or body too much. So to go on with sunglasses, right? Nothing covering your body or face too much, so you can actually see the person, right? You can see what's going on there. Okay, I got a lot more to go, and I want to keep rolling through. Are you guys still with me? If you're still with me, say with you, Trip. With you, say with you in the chat. If you're here with us, not live, I hope this is helping. We're gonna keep going. So profile. All right. So this information right here is only going to be a little bit more for dating sites. For dating apps, you're going to not necessarily do as much effort with this, because for an app, you only have so many characters that you're allowed to write. And I know that there's different apps. There's ones like Hinge, where they give you all these different questions to, go over, things like that, and answer different questions. So all I'm going to say is just do your best, okay? Do your best. Don't try too hard. Don't be too sleazy. Don't say anything that's going to... I know this is so subjective, but I could just say, don't be weird. Like at the end of the day, you don't have to have this crazy profile in your dating app. Just don't be weird. Don't be too cocky. Don't be, like I said, overtly sexual in any way that's going to come off at all creepy. If anything, if it's just kind of like normal and boring, that's fine. As long as you have some good pictures and you have at least a normal profile. Like if you're a guy who's sitting there is like, I'm not that witty, I'm not that creative, then just be a little more normal with it. But I'll be giving you some ideas here on what to put on your profile. Um, so we'll be going over those, but I'm just kind of right now speaking of dating apps. If you're just joining us right now, I just want to keep you up to speed here. So basically, what we're talking about is what to do when you're quarantined. So right now, I'm going over all the best ways to optimize your dating profile. And then we're going to be swiping and messaging a lot of women because we're getting a lot of leads in the funnel. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to set up virtual dates. Okay, virtual dates. Okay, so for your profile, you don't, so again, this is right now specific to dating sites. And yes, get on a dating site. Don't just do the apps, okay? A lot of people are just going for the easy way. There's still women on dating sites. There's still women on eHarmony and Match and OkCupid and JDate and I don't know, whatever the other ones that are out right now. There are still people doing that. So get on there. Here's what to do for your profile. Only 1 to 3 lines of text. Okay. You want small paragraphs so it's easy to read. It's kind of straining on the eyes to read on your screen large paragraphs, and it makes it so people are more likely to skim and not get everything that you're saying. It's easier for them to read it, right? This is kind of common sense, but we don't really think about it in this way. The most you should have is 1 to 3 lines of text. So 3 lines, then space, then 1 line space, then 2 lines space, then 3 lines space, or whatever. It can be 1 line, 1 line, 1 line, but all spaces, no more than 3 lines of text. So it makes it easy to read so they can really go through it. What else? Okay. Now here's the idea behind the profile. You're going to do it like this. This is a concept used in marketing. It's called, here's what I got, here's what it's going to do for you, and here's what to do next. Here's what I got, here's what it's going to do for you, and here's what to do next, okay? So here's what I got. That means you're kind of saying who you are and what you're about. We'll get to that in a second. Then you got, here's what it's going to do for you, which I know sounds kind of funny, but it's going to basically, you can write something about what a day in the life with you is like how you're going to bring value to a partner, a person's life. And then here's what to do next. This is very interesting. I actually thought this was interesting. You're going to do a call to action. So you're going to tell the person to message you. You're going to tell the person to actually message you, and you're going to do it in a certain way. So let's break this down. So I wish I had water. Let's keep going. Here's what I got. So what do you like doing? Some defining characteristics, some aspirations, and who you're looking for. So you're going to write, and this doesn't have to be a novel, but you're going to write a few things in terms of who you are as a person. If you're witty, you can be a little bit witty, but don't make the whole thing a big comedy show, or else they're not going to be able to get to know you. If you're like, I'm not witty at all, I'm not creative, that's fine. Just talk about what you like doing. Talk about some defining characteristics for yourself, some aspirations or goals that you have or things that you're working on, and also a little bit about who you're looking for. A little bit about who you're looking for. Just do yourself a favor. Don't be writing a novel in any of this because they're probably not going to read it. So just make it short, sweet, to the point, boom, bam, boom. Okay? So that's the here's what I got part. We're talking about, again, profile creation for a dating site. So here's what I got. Part 2, here's what it's going to do for you. So what you can do is this. You can write about what a day in the life is like for you, okay? Again, short and sweet. This can be like 3 lines at the most. But it's a way of basically saying this is what life is like for me. And this is what it's going to be like if we're together. You can say something like, in the morning, I love to go for, a great, and this is also a way of them to get to know you. So in the morning, I love going, for a great cup of coffee. I want to, it'd be awesome to enjoy a gourmet cup of coffee with you. In the afternoons, I like to do this. And at night, I like to do this. It's like a little story about yourself. Okay, it's a little story about yourself. So you'll be talking about that in your profile a little bit. And then after that, all you need is 1 sentence that says, boom, send me a message if you like what you see or you like what you read. Send me a message if you like what you see and like what you read. Boom. Okay. So I want you to so I want you to take some of those tips for the profile. Do what you can. So we've talked about 4 pictures that you can do for your profile, the bio for your profile. And remember, if you're on one of those dating apps, just short and sweet, a couple things about yourself. As long as you do a few things about yourself, if you want to be a little bit witty, you can do that with good pictures. You're good to go. Okay? You're good to go. You're already going to be steps ahead of other guys right there. Nothing sleazy, nothing over the top, nothing creepy, nothing overly sexual. How many sites should you be on? How many dating apps should you be on? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be on a mixture of 3 sites and apps. So pick 3. You don't need more than that. More than that is completely overkill. So that's either 2 apps in one site, 2 sites in one app. Those are pretty much your options. Mix it up. Do 2 of one and one of the other and vice versa. That's going to at least widen your range of hopefully getting more access to more women, because certain women will be on certain sites. Okay. I'm not going to tell you which sites to use and which apps to use. I want to make this as evergreen as possible. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you want. I would pick from the biggest ones that are and the most popular ones that are around during the time that you're watching this video. Okay. Okay. So gave you some information on pictures, on profile. Let's talk about messaging. So that's next. Let's talk about messaging. So messaging. No lazy messages. Okay. They don't work. Even if you think you look sexy in your photos and every girl should just want to talk to you because you have an amazing profile and amazing pictures that we just taught you how to do, let's not do that. No lazy messages. What's a lazy message? Hey, hi, what's up? WYD, which stands for what you doing, or you're going to say what you doing. None of that. None of that. No lazy messages. You'll see 9 times out of 10, they don't work. They don't work. No one wants to see that. That's not a good way to start a conversation. They're going to see how lazy that is. That's not attractive. Here's another one. Careful of the copy paste messages. Every so often, a dating coach will come up, or someone you'll hear of something that will come up with something that is really clever and works really well, like a copy and paste message that you can send. Don't use that, because the chances are, if you're seeing it, that means other people have been using it, and a lot of women have probably seen the message because they get hit on and they get a lot of messages all the time from guys. So no copy paste of the time messages that you see going around, and nothing too sexual. Okay. So you might be thinking, what should you do? What should you do? So here's what you should do. In terms of messaging, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say this. What we're going to do is have you do about 3 to 4 messages and then close. Okay. The worst thing you can do, and I see this all the time with guys, with texting, with online dating, is they go back and forth forever. Okay. With the girl. Message, 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 message. They always ask me, what do you do? What should I do now? What should I do? More than likely, you probably at that point should just go for the close. So if you have not gone for the close and you're in a situation right now and you're messaging back and forth with anyone on a dating app site or you're texting right now, go for the close. In the future, no more than 3 to 4 messages. That means when she messages, that's 1. When you respond, that's 2, so on and so forth, 3, 4. After 3 or 4, go for the close. If at that point she doesn't respond, or she says, she doesn't respond to the close. When I say the close, I mean closing. I mean, you're going to go for the number. We'll get into details about how to do that. A lazy message is saying hey or hi or what's up, Frank. So the close is yes. Go. So okay, if she says, If she says nothing and doesn't respond, move on. Okay. You're going to waste more time. You're going to waste more time having long, lengthy, drawn out messages with women and it not going anywhere. I've seen it. I've done it before. You get these long conversations and it still doesn't get anywhere. If they're interested by 3 or 4 messages. They know everything they need to know with the bio that we have for you and the pictures that we have set up for you. They should be interested enough by that point to then go for the close. You're not going to be going for a date. You're just going to be going for their number. Okay. If at the point where they say like, oh, I'd like to get to know you more, then just say, sure, ask me a question. And if they don't respond after that, they're not interested in engaging with you. They're lazy. I would not go with that girl. So yes. So after you say that, so after you say to them, ask me a question, and then they engage with you a little bit, go for the close again after like 1 or 2 messages. If it doesn't happen after that, goodbye. I don't know. There's not that much more that they need from you. And if they do, good luck to them. They're trying to find a needle in a haystack. So what do you message? What do you say? Really simple. You don't need to be clever. If you are a clever person and you can do it, do the clever thing. I see a lot of people send funny, clever messages to start. Nothing overtly sexual, creepy, or weird. But at the end of the day, if you have a really good profile and everything's going well with that, all you need to do is ask a question about a detail on their profile. Okay? So you can say something like this. You seem interesting. Okay? You say, you seem interesting. And then comment on something on their profile. A picture, obviously. Well, no, it can be bio too. Both. Something that they're doing, something that they're up to, whatever, anything. Hopefully, you're coming across women who are, it's not just a bunch of selfies in one line. Honestly, pretty weak. I would be turned off. I don't care how hot the girl is, be pretty turned off if there's nothing to comment on their profile except for just a bunch of selfies of them. And you can see it. There's a lot of women who put energy and effort into their profile. Those are the women you want to be with. You really do. The ones who are following the rules for them in terms of putting stuff on their profile and their bios and things that make it easy for a guy to comment and also shows that you're finding someone with depth. Okay. Okay, so here's another one. A good topic to talk about is travel. Okay, so even if you're quarantined right now, you can still talk about it. You can say, what's your favorite place to travel to when you're not quarantined? So that's a good one. You can open that or you can say that in a second or third message. Okay. Someone in the chat, Gary, I like what you said there. Don't throw her on a pedestal either. She probably has 50 messages all saying how beautiful she is. Love that. Good point. When I say comment on her profile, don't comment on what she looks like. Comment on something she's doing if she has something she's doing. A lot of girls put pictures of them doing things, skiing, hiking, whatever. So comment on that. Okay. What do you guys think so far? Is this helping? If it's helping, say, give me a thumbs up or say awesome in the chat. So I know that you guys are liking this. Okay. Okay, let's go for the close now, guys. Let's go for the close. So for the close, this means you're going to get their number. So here's the next step. I told you we're going step by step, right? So step 1 is we're going to create this awesome profile for you. I know you're quarantined right now, so just do the best you can with the pictures that you have. And if you're watching this post-quarantine, you know what to do in terms of getting the best pictures. I would actually hire a photographer to get those pictures. So step 1, optimizing profile, optimizing bio. Step 2, go for the close. What's the close? You're going to get their number. Don't get their Instagram or Snapchat. That is taking a step backwards. I mean, you're already on a dating app, right? It's like if you're going from dating app to social media, you're just going to be thrown in with all the other guys and it's not going to work, okay? That's a step back. If they don't offer you their number, then you move on. You go, bye-bye, and you just leave, okay? Bye-bye. Do not try to go, even if they're hot, there's plenty of hot women out there. Don't just slide into their DMs or start snapping them. No, the most personal place. Like let me sell this to you for a second. The most personal place that you can be is in their text messages. There is nothing more personal than that. The people that they're texting with are the people that are closest to them. It's their friends and their family, and maybe a couple other guys they might be dating. Okay, but that is you in the top tier. You know who's on the lower tier? The guys who are in their DMs, in their snaps, in their Facebook Messenger or whatever else. Okay. The only exception I would say here would be, and this is going to be so rare, is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is considered like texting, and people do that when there's like a broad situation, right? If like you're texting someone and they're in another country and they're from another country, so they can't text with you. This is a rare exception. So WhatsApp is okay too, but most people, a lot of people have iPhones these days, and boom, you can text. So there you go for that. Okay, so what's the close? What do you say? This is what you say. You can say this word for word, by the way. Here's the word for word script. Say to them, you know what? You seem cool. Why don't we set up a phone date and talk more? What's your number? Okay, now this is specific to quarantine. We're getting into quarantine only advice. I warn you. This is not advice that I would be giving you if you were doing normal things on a dating app. Normal dating app is going to be getting their number, and then you'll set up the date, an actual in-person date from the number. But here's where it gets a little different. You're just going to say, you seem cool. Why don't we set up a phone date and talk more? What's your number? You seem cool. Why don't we set up a phone date and talk more? What's your number? And then you say, here's mine. Okay, and then you put your number in. Why do you say that? That makes them feel a little bit more comfortable. And then if it all goes well, they're just going to text you their number. Now, here's the thing. You're only giving your phone number to make them feel comfortable. Do not wait for them to text you. You are the guy, you are leading. So you're going to be the one who's going to text them. Okay? What do you text? You're going to say, and you're going to do this within a few hours. Don't wait too long. They're potentially giving their number away to a lot of guys, or they're texting on the app more guys, or on the sites more guys. So in a few hours or less, you're going to say, hey, it's Trip, but you're going to say your name. Hey, it's Trip from OkCupid. Hey, it's Trip from Bumble. Hey, it's Steve from Match.com. Whatever, Tinder. So within a few hours, after you get their number, hey, it's Trip from OkCupid, or whatever. And then when they respond, no chit chat. No chit chat. Do not go into, what are you up to today? What's going on? You already did that. That already happened. That happened on the app. You're going to go right for the phone date. Again, we are in quarantine only advice right now. This is not going to be for you to do on any other time but now, because now we're going to be getting you into setting up lots of virtual dates. Okay? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go right into setting up a time to talk on the phone. So you'll go this. This is the escalation sequence. First, it's getting their number, phone number specifically, off of the app or the dating site, then texting them, and then setting up what's going to be a phone date. So just calling from there. And then, and we'll get into this in a second, from there, you're going to go to doing FaceTime or Skype or WhatsApp. Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp dates, meaning where you can see them. Okay, so now it's okay after you get their number to maybe do, if they don't have an iPhone, to do FaceTime, to get on WhatsApp, because WhatsApp has a video messaging, or video talking, chatting, and also Skype. Okay, so they should have one of those. You don't have to do that, but that's going to help in this quarantine period. Setting that up, because you connect way more when you are face-to-face with someone. But first, start with the chatting on the phone. so they can get to know you. They might not be comfortable getting to the point right away where you guys are just, well, here's me. Some women might, but just to make it easy for yourself, kind of start slow. Just focus on you guys chatting first on the phone and then moving it to a video conference. Okay, so let's dive deeper in there. Guys, I'm sorry that it's pausing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, sorry, guys. Just the internet. Hope it's back. Let me know if I'm back. Okay. So where are we? Now you're going to set up the phone date. So you're going to say this. You're going to say, hey, it's Trip from OkCupid. And then after that, they're going to say like, hey, what's going on? And then you're going to say, let's hop on a phone call. Let's do a phone date. Okay, so let's do a phone date soon. When are you free? Let's do a phone date soon. When are you free? Okay. So you're going to say that, and then she's going to give you times, and then you're just going to set it up. Okay. You're going to set up a time and a date. Get specific with it. This is not the time to be having chit chat. You want to connect with them. No more connecting over text. It's going to be better when you guys are actually doing this on the phone. Okay. So set up that phone date. And then here's some phone tips. Okay. Guys, I don't know why it keeps pausing. Let me, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Let's keep going. So, phone tips. Here's the phone tips for the quarantine. When you're doing a phone date, clearly the first things you guys are going to talk about is the quarantine, right? That's the first thing you're going to be talking about. That's okay. That's normal. Here's my tip for you. Stay positive. Do not get on the phone and start complaining about all the bad things that are happening in the world. And can you believe it? And people are getting laid off, and Trump has to bail us out, and he's doing this wrong. And, oh my God, I'm so lonely, or whatever it is. Okay. Whatever it is, stay positive. She might go next, might say something bad, but yeah, stay positive. So everything you're going to be saying is going to be something that's going to be uplifting, silver lining. Okay. And so what I want you to say to get on this positive energy wave is I actually want you to say to the girl when you get on the phone, when you guys are talking for like 10 seconds, say, hey, what do you think the silver lining has been for you with all this? So boom, you're going to get right into it. You're going to get right into something positive, and it's going to make her feel positive because you're bringing it to that level. She's going to feel good around you. All good vibes. Okay. So stay positive. Ask her that question. Say, hey, I'm curious. What do you think the silver lining? I know there's a lot of bad things happening right now, and then the news is just tragic. What do you think the silver lining is for you right now in all of this? And she's going to say all these things, whatever. You better have an answer too, because she's going to ask you back. Okay. So make sure that you have something positive to say regarding what's going on with the quarantine. Okay. Then after that, you got to get off the quarantine topic as soon as possible. Okay. I don't want you to be sitting on the phone with all these girls just talking about the quarantine. Okay. Don't be sitting and talking about that all day. It's not going to allow you two to really connect because you're going to be talking about this one topic. You got to get to know each other a little bit. So you're going to treat it like it's a date. You're going to treat it like it's a date. Okay. So think of the phone date as an actual date. Yes, they're all going to start talking about with quarantine and what's going on. And then, boom, move to something else. Okay. Talk about what you've been up to. Even though I know this is kind of semi-related to the quarantine, but just talk about things that you've been doing, things that you've been up to. Talk about the most recent fun thing that you did before the quarantine. Talk about something like that. And then what you do is active listen. So I want you to actively listen to what they're saying and then extract a word from what they're saying so you can continue conversation. If any of you follow my stuff, you know I've talked about this before. This is just normal conversation skills that you are now going to get good at. Okay. You're now going to get good at because you're going to be having a lot of conversations, hopefully, with these women that you're meeting. Okay. So you got to get off the topic of the quarantine and start moving it along to something else. You can use my TED system. My TED system is T, tension, E, entertainment, D, dominance. That's how attraction works. Normally, you'd be doing that in person, but since you're quarantined and doing this over the phone, you can still do this over the phone. So T, that's going to be tension, building sexual tension, flirting, teasing, and just being fun while you guys are talking. E, entertainment, enjoying the conversation. I want you to enjoy the conversation. Talk about the things that you want to talk about. Don't just be asking her a bunch of questions and trying to get to know her. Say the things that are on your mind, hopefully not necessarily all related to the quarantine stuff. Okay? And then D, dominance. You're going to be the one leading it to the next level, which means that you, after talking to her for, I don't know, maybe you guys talk for 20, 30 minutes. Hey, maybe it's an hour. That's fine too. Great. Talk to her for a while. Get to know her. Have fun. Then after that, or if you're ballsy and it's going really well, you can say, hey, I have a crazy idea right now. I have a crazy idea. She's going to say, what? You're going to say, why don't we FaceTime? Or why don't we video chat? Right? If you don't have iPhone or if she doesn't have iPhone, you'll say, she'll, I don't know. No. If she's uncomfortable, say, okay, no worries. We don't have to do this right now. Let's do it. Let's do it next time. When are you free? I'd really like to do this again. And then set up another time to talk. Or just do it right there and then, either on WhatsApp or Skype or FaceTime. Okay, how do you keep in touch with them? So, right, you're in a quarantine. We don't know when this is going to be over, okay? You don't know when this is going to be over. Someone asked, I'll do a few calls in just a little bit, but I want to get through this material so you guys can have this. And real quickly, you can find the TED system at my Get Her Hooked program. So if you go to getherhooked.com, you're going to find my entire system for attraction and meeting women and getting tons of dates that you will be able to use when you're outside of this quarantine and this quarantine is over. So go to getherhooked.com. The link is in the description down below to get my whole course, my online course that you can start watching as you are now quarantined, right? In between you doing all these FaceTimes with these girls. So what I recommend is repeating this process. And then the girls that you enjoy talking to, this is specific to quarantine advice. I warn you, I don't want you doing this at all if this is not in a quarantine zone, because this is not what you should be doing. You should be meeting up with them in person, but this is a very specific situation. So every 3 or 4 days, do another call with them or do a FaceTime with them. You can text a little bit during the day, not much. Very, very, very minimal to keep up with them. Because basically you do want to sort of keep in touch with them a little bit, at least through the 3 or 4 days you're doing a FaceTime date or a virtual date. So you can keep up with them. So then you guys can eventually go on a real date when the quarantine is over. Okay. So I want you to be setting these up and keeping in touch with her as you go on and the other women that you're talking to. Make sure when you do text them, if you do decide to text them in between the FaceTime and virtual dates, is I want you to use statements to start the text conversation, not questions. Statements, not questions. This means that I want you to be starting with a statement, not being like, hey, what's up? How's your day? What are you up to? What's going on? Okay. Instead, I want you to do a statement meaning something that you're up to, something that you're doing, something interesting, something on your mind. Start that way. Okay. All right. And then once the quarantine seems to be close to over, you can start talking about something fun you guys can do together. Or if you guys are really connecting and you're talking for a while, like, and you've been quarantined for like 3 weeks, but you're talking every like 2 or 3 or 4 days, start seeding the idea of what you guys will do together. So this is important. In fact, you should be doing this on the first conversation. The first conversation, I want you to be seeding the idea of what you guys would do together if you were in person, like what your first date would be. And you should have an idea of what that would be. Okay? So maybe it's getting a drink somewhere, eating at one of your favorite spots, doing some sort of activity. Okay? I want you to seed the idea for a date. So there you go. That's it. That's what you're going to do in a quarantine. You're going to rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You're going to get a lot of leads into the funnel, That means that what you're going to be doing is messaging a lot of girls, swiping on a lot of girls, and getting as many women into the funnel using this process, optimizing your profile and your bio, doing only 3 to 4 messages, then going for the close, only getting their phone number, not anything else. And then going for a phone date, moving it to a FaceTime, WhatsApp, or Skype video chat, and then seeding the idea of you guys eventually meeting up and what you would do. Boom. There you go. I'm taking calls. I'm going to put the line open. So you can call in 310-598-3384. Call in. The number is in the description. The number is in the title. Guys, don't forget, pick up your course today at getherhooked.com, where I'm going to be teaching you everything that you need to know to get women attracted to you when you finally meet them in person. Okay? So let's get you to that point. If you're feeling you're struggling to meet women in person or even online, you're still going to learn all the tenets of attraction. Okay? I'm not going to be answering any unknown callers. If you're calling from an unknown number, I'm sorry, we'll not be answering. I've learned my lesson. More than not, it's a prank call, and we don't have time for that because we're doing some serious stuff. So if you want to call in, do not call in from an unknown number. Don't worry, your number's not going to be shown. So I'm talking to you, person who's calling from an unknown number. Don't do that anymore. I will not be answering your call. Guys, did this help? I just went through the whole process on how to kill it on online dating, and then I got even more specific into the quarantine. What do you think? Does it help? If it helps, say yes. Say yes. Don't be shy. Let me hear from you. What's up? You're on the air. What's your name, age, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Trip. How you doing? It's actually Vince calling from Montreal, Canada. How you doing?
What's up, Vince? How you doing, man?
Not much. I'm just kind of like, because I'm working from home now, remotely. So I used to go to an office, and I'm working from home. So I'm like home all day, and I'm trying to work on myself, read some books, kind of do my thing, work on myself. But a question I wanted to ask you, it's actually really funny because as you were talking about the tips on how to close, I was actually like doing that as you were speaking, like on Tinder.
Nice.
But anyways, I wanted to ask you, so like me and my friends sometimes, like I have a group of guys that we're all friends, we used to go out and like approach women, do that kind of thing. But now that this has happened and there's this whole quarantine, self-isolation thing, it's like that has come to a complete stop. But I wanted to ask you, when do you think it's going to be safe and like kind of like socially acceptable to actually start actually approaching and like talking to people in real life?
I mean, the thing is I don't know.
Back to normal.
Yeah, it's a good question, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had the answer. I don't know. That's what we're all sitting here. We're like, we don't know what's going to happen. So my answer is we have to kind of stick to hearing what's going on with the news a little bit, and hearing what's going on in terms of, some places are forced to be quarantined. It's like you are not allowed to go anywhere. But here's the thing. We're going to know when we can get back in the game. It's going to be when bars, restaurants, nightclubs start opening again, when they're going to be saying, okay, it's safe to start hanging out with more than 50 people, when events start popping up, because right now everything's canceled. So when everything starts popping up again and you can go to concerts and things like that, that's when it's going to be. When that's going to happen, I don't know. If I had to guess, I really hope in the next few months, but that's just my theory. I have
In
no
the next
idea.
few months. Oh
I mean,
my-
it's going to trickle. My guess is it's going to trickle, right? Like it's going to start where, okay, it's cool to hang out with more than 10 people. And then from there, hopefully things start opening up. And then maybe down the line, a little bit stretch of like 3 months, 4 months, things will start being, big events will start popping back up. But we don't know. We don't know. We just got to pay
Right.
attention to
And
what's going on.
what do you think about, right, that makes a lot of sense. And what do you think about just like meeting up, like going to like a friend's house or like maybe inviting a girl over, like something like that? Is that okay?
I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. Honestly, I gotta keep everyone safe as possible. The only thing I can say is you at this point, you want to be isolating yourself as much as possible.
Okay.
It's just not safe. So I can't, I can't tell anyone to be going out there and interacting with more than, yourself and self-quarantining, and at this time just doing online dating. So
Right.
there's people out there who are being really dumb. I read an article that there's college kids saying like fuck what's going on, and then they're just going out and partying still, and it's not smart. So I would
Right.
say better safe than sorry, and just get your online dating game going.
Right. I agree. Okay. Thank you.
You're
Sounds
welcome,
good.
man. Thanks for calling.
Stay safe out there, Trip.
Thanks, buddy. You too, Vince. Yeah, guys. Cool. We had a lot of people join on this live. This is really fun to have you guys here and do all this. Don't forget, pick up your copy of Get Her Hooked. I say copy when it's not really something physical. It's all online. Go to getherhooked.com so you can get access to my course called Hooked. If you want coaching, go to coachedbytrip.com. The good news is coaching is still available. We just won't start for a little while, which is fine anyways, because I won't be able to start. Hey, caller, hold on 1 second, okay? While I just finish my thought here. And also put me on mute because I can hear myself. So anyway, coaching is available to you. I'm already booked out a month in advance. So that's good news. So if we start coaching in a month, who knows what's going to happen with what's going on out there with the quarantine. All right, caller, what's up? You hung up and I could hear myself the whole way through. So yeah, coachedbytrip.com for coaching, getherhooked.com for my course. I can help you out a bunch. Someone said it keeps pausing because everyone's using the internet. Maybe. Sorry, guys. Sorry it keeps pausing. There's nothing I can do about this. I don't know what's going on. YouTube overload. So, all right, we'll do another call. What's up? You're on the air. What's your name, age, and where you calling from?
Hey, Trip. It's James. I'm 23, and I'm from Phoenix.
James, 23 from Phoenix. Have you called in before?
A while back, maybe like a month ago.
Yeah, you sound familiar. What's going on, man? What's your question?
I have a question. With everything going on, I met somebody a while back, and just through a friend, and I know right now with everything going on, it's not really a good idea to be meeting people. But I know, and we were gonna do something today, and of course everything fizzled out because of everything going on. And really, I mean, Phoenix isn't too bad right now. They're not shutting people down, but they just started to shut bars down and stuff like that. But I guess in the meantime, if you do meet anybody, or I didn't get the person's number unfortunately, but again, I'm still friends with her friends and stuff like that, and we were gonna do plans. But I guess in the meantime, I guess the best thing to do if you do meet people, like before all of this happened, is to just kind of wait to see what happens. And just
You're going to have to just keep up with
like
them with virtual dates. You're going to have to keep doing virtual dates. It's not a good idea to meet up with them. You're just going to have to do virtual dates, FaceTime dates. If you already met them, then I would just go right to doing FaceTime dates. and keeping in touch a little bit over text, but mainly doing these FaceTime dates every 3 or 4 days. Honestly, that's the best you can do, and then doing the online dating thing,
Yeah.
meet some more women.
I see.
This is not a terrible time to be dating. It's just going to be in a virtual way. Yes, it sucks. You're not going to be in front of them and you're not going to be getting physical with them, but at least you might have the chance to meet a lot of women and then line up all of these dates. If you do this right, what I'm talking about, you might be able to line up a ton of dates for yourself when the quarantine's over and all this goes away. So it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Silver lining, I think. Silver lining.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for the advice, Rob.
You're welcome, man. Take care. Thanks for calling.
All right. Okay.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. There you go. Shutting it down. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for being here. This was more content heavy, information heavy, education heavy, live, but I hope it helped. I gave you some very specific tips on what to do. Remember, there's a point in the advice I gave you where it's quarantine advice only, where I don't want you to be texting girls all day and FaceTiming them all the time when you're eventually in person with them. When we can go out and meet women again and it's safe to do so, you're going to be closing, getting their number, and then setting up not phone dates, but in-person dates. So you guys can actually be in person together. That's where real attraction happens. But for now, stay safe, silver lining, stay positive, and let's just start meeting people virtually for now. It's not going to be forever. This is all temporary. The economy will come back. The dating in person will come back. It will all come back. Excuse me. And it will all be back to normal. So there you go. All right. Peace and love, guys. Stay safe. Stay quarantined. Love to all.